Millions of dollars had already poured into holes in the desert. On March 4, 1938, the team came to a conclusion. Number 7 that day was flowing at 1,585 barrels a day. Within 3 days the flow increased to 3,690 barrels a day. Each year they increased their oil wells and extracted more oil, reaching 500,000 barrels of crude oil per day in 1949. The firm built the distribution pipeline to keep up with production and built the longest line in the world, the Trans-Arab Pipeline. In 1944, the company was named Arabian American Oil Company, namely Aramco. All the oil drilling was done by the Americans. All power was the Americans. Apart from a certain amount of profit given to the Saudi family, the family did not have much influence. But things changed during the Arab-Israeli wars in 1973. A state hated by the Arab states in the region. America supported Israel in the last war between them in 1973. But Saudi Arabia was against Israel, so there were problems between Saudi Arabia and America. The Saudi family bought a 25% stake in Aramco. Finally, the Saudis increased their stake in the company to 100%. In the late 1980s, Aramco changed its name to Saudi Aramco. An incident in Saudi Arabia laid the foundations of today's radical Islamist terrorist organizations. Until 1979, the situation was quite good, but in 1979 a radical group raided the Kaaba. This incident, which deeply affected the world and especially Saudi Arabia, was led by an armed group, whose number was estimated to be between 500-1,000, led by a 43-year-old former Saudi Royal Army member, Ayman al-Utaibi. It was planned a long time ago. Weapons, ammunition and food were hidden long ago in the lower floors and corridors of the Masjid Haram, where the Kaaba is located. The French president sent the French anti-terrorist unit to Saudi Arabia. They managed to neutralize the group. Almost all of Saudi Arabia is desert. In the summer, the highest temperature is 45-50 OC during the day, and the lowest temperature is 20-25 OC at night. In the winter 25-30 OC, in the evening 15-20 OC. It does not snow in winters. It is forbidden to make snowmen when it snows. It is forbidden as it reminds of pots. Water is more expensive than oil in this country. Riyadh, the capital city of Saudi Arabia with the highest number of skyscrapers, is built adjacent to a main road while the skyscrapers are being built. At the same time, when Saudi Arabia is completed in 2026, it will be home to a 1-kilometer high skyscraper called Kingdom Tower. It will be perhaps the most important figure of the Kingdom City project to be established by Saudi Arabia in Jeddah, which will be the heart of Kingdom City, which costs $20 billion. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the strongest of all princes. His father, King Salman bin Abdulaziz, is 85 years old. Prince Salman is the person who will take the throne after the death of the king. Knowing that his country cannot continue with oil revenues, he has worked to reduce dependence on oil. Now he can drive a car. Although it is considered strange in many parts of the world, this is a big thing for Saudi Arabia. Entertainment centers are trying to increase tourism thanks to places like art centers. On the beaches, people are given the freedom to dress as they want to have fun. The aim is to increase tourism revenues. Petroleum reserves will be depleted one day. Besides, fluctuations in oil prices pose a big problem. Sudden decreases in oil prices cause serious crises. Therefore, The reforms made are important. There is also a significant investment for both Saudi Arabia and the world. Neom. The cost of this project has been determined to be $500 billion. The partners of this project are America, Russia, Israel, Saudi Arabia and a few other countries. This will be the most costly project in the world. Neom will be no different from the city there if you watched the movie Tomorrowland. The area where the city is located will be built on a large area from countries such as Qatar and Bahrain. Its energy will only be obtained from clean energy sources. Because it will be economically and commercially developed, transportation from the world to the city will be easy and fast. Saudi Arabia will be a place within the borders of Neom Saudi where the laws of Neom Saudi will not apply. It will have its own economy and tax system. More robots than the human population. Drones and robots will do many jobs. Robots will do many jobs such as security, transportation and cleaning. The chief boss of this project, Mohammed bin Salman, knew he had to make these reforms to free the country from dependence on oil. All of these changes are a development plan called Vision 2030, one of the first royals to say that men and women are equal. He does not accept to be criticized. Although he made many reforms, he did nothing in the name of democratization. He still has one word about the king. Anyone who defends democracy and freedom of thought against the Saudi administration is silently destroyed. One of the important names is Jamal Khashoggi. It was at the Washington Post. Assassinated at the Saudi consulate. Has placed a listening device of the intelligence services in Turkey were removed, but Turkey was reintroduced by the intelligence agencies. Intelligence information from many listening devices are the devices in Turkey. The team that will be assassinated looks pretty cool in the audio recordings. Although Salman denied this from the very beginning, he had to undertake it because of these registrations. Although he admits that the murder was committed at the consulate, he does not admit that the murder was committed. Salman is estimated to have an army of bot accounts of his own on Twitter. He uses these fake accounts against the news made against him. Generally, he uses bot accounts in social media applications such as Twitter, Facebook. They use these armies to suppress opponents against him who express human rights violations and political problems, and to make their own propaganda on social media. In 2017, more than 200 princes and senior officials were summoned to a hotel in Saudi Arabia for a meeting, but all of them were imprisoned at once. Many people who did not understand what was happening, and the reason for their incarceration was said to be a corruption operation. Their common feature was their criticism of the press Salman. A total of $106 billion were taken from the imprisoned people. In return for this payment, they were released. The wealth of Salman, who arrested his brother, is unknown. But given the money taken from the hostages and the annual income of Saudi Aramco is $100 billion, it can be considered that his wealth is quite large. He is quite fond of luxury. It is known that the price of his yacht is €500 million. There are 2 helipads, a movie theater. The length of the yacht named Serene is 133 meters. The most expensive painting in the world is Prince Salman. He bought Salvatore Munti, which is worth $450 million. Although he is married, he has relationships with many women, and he once said he could pay $3 million in exchange for a night with Kim Kardashian. The Saudi Arabian administration got along very well with the former President Trump. Trump had supported Salman in the murder of Jamal Spoonbill. In a statement it was said that if this murder was in Obama's time, America would not have kept silent about this murder. Donald Trump had signed a $100 billion arms deal with Saudi Arabia. Air defense systems proved to be inadequate. Air defense systems that received a drone attack on Saudi Arabian oil wells were not able to detect in advance. The new American President Joe Biden thinks he should pay the price for the murders committed by the Saudi administration. It is generally known that the Joe Biden administration is against the autocracy rulers. America seems to have trouble with the Saudi Arabian administration, which is its important ally in the Middle East. Are the reforms real? What does Joe think about the Saudi administration?